Today's main character is not the largest animal on the savanna, yet it is a name many species treat with caution. The honey badger is small, but widely known for remarkable boldness and persistence. It often faces situations that most animals would choose to avoid. And when an encounter begins, the reason this creature is considered one of nature's most relentless fighters becomes clear. Facing the massive body of a crocodile, the honey badger still advances with surprising confidence. Repeated disturbances gradually push the crocodile away from the water's edge. Once the advantage of terrain fades, the crocodile chooses to withdraw rather than extend the risk. The encounter shows that size alone does not always determine the advantage. Surrounded by a group of wild dogs, the honey badger does not rely on speed to escape. It holds its ground and reacts firmly each time the dogs attempt to close the distance. That persistence disrupts the pack's coordination. When a clear opportunity never appears, the circle slowly breaks apart. A snake climbs upward in search of safety away from the ground. But the honey badger follows steadily, gripping with strong claws and unwavering focus. The vertical space is not enough to break that determination. As the pursuit continues, the advantage shifts toward the more persistent animal. In the darkness, hyenas apply pressure through numbers and constant disturbance, rather than direct contact. Yet the honey badger refuses to retreat from the surrounding sounds and movement. Each attempt to tighten the circle meets a firm response. The tension eventually settles, and the encounter ends without a clear advantage for either side. The turtle's closed shell resembles a small fortress, but the honey badger does not give up quickly. It turns and examines the shell, searching patiently for a weak point rather than acting at random. Persistence gradually challenges the opponent's passive defense. Across the dry grass, the difference in body size is obvious from the start. Yet the honey badger maintains close pressure, limiting the leopard's advantage in speed. The encounter slows as distance is restored between them. In the wild, persistence alone can sometimes create an unexpected advantage. Sweet rewards often come with significant risk. The honey badger moves directly into a beehive, accepting waves of resistance from the air. Without retreating, it uses brief openings to reach the valuable honey. In the wild, endurance can sometimes unlock rare sources of energy. When the crocodile leaves deeper water, the honey badger quickly uses the land terrain to apply pressure. Short, quick advances reduce the heavy reptile's ability to reposition. Drawn away from its familiar environment, the crocodile's advantage gradually fades. Choosing the right ground can sometimes decide the entire outcome. When a pack of wild dogs welcomes a new litter, the area around the den becomes highly sensitive. The appearance of a honey badger immediately changes the rhythm of activity. A wild dog mother keeps her distance and quickly moves the pups into a safer area. In nature, protecting the next generation is always the highest priority. Caught by a sudden encounter, a honey badger mother instantly positions herself in front of her young like a living shield. She maintains extremely close distance, discouraging every direction of approach. Two young wild dogs test the boundary, but quickly hesitate before the determined response. Sometimes the instinct to protect offspring is strong enough to reshape the entire situation. Beneath a tree, the leopard appears to hold the advantage. But the sudden arrival of a mother honey badger shifts the tension immediately. A decisive charge causes the predator to reconsider the risk. When protective instinct is activated, size no longer becomes the deciding factor. Across the hot, dry ground, the honey badger moves with unusual confidence. Instead of avoiding danger, it digs and handles scorpions with precise bites. Its tolerance to venom greatly expands its survival diet. In harsh environments, adaptation is often the greatest advantage. Surrounded by several leopards, the honey badger holds its ground instead of fleeing. It reacts instantly whenever the distance begins to close. That persistence gradually slows the cautious advances. As the pressure shifts, enough space opens for it to leave the area. Curiosity draws the lion too close to a beehive. Within seconds, thousands of small defenders gather into a unified wave. Their collective pressure causes the much larger animal to retreat quickly. In nature, unity can become the most powerful defense. A wolf moves forward to establish a territorial boundary, but the wolverine responds with a low stance and familiar determination. Both animals keep their distance, watching each other's reactions with every step. A few tense moments are enough for both to recognize the cost of conflict. The encounter ends before it escalates. Across the quiet savanna, a honey badger searches for food, unaware that it is being observed. A male lion approaches slowly and carefully. The silent watch continues, driven more by curiosity than by intent to attack. Not every meeting in the wild leads to confrontation. The lioness blends into the dry grass and waits patiently for the right moment. But when she moves forward, the wildebeest responds with surprising determination. The sudden resistance causes the predator to reconsider the risk. Sometimes the reward is not worth the possible injury. The scorpion delivers a precise defensive strike. Yet the response does not discourage the honey badger. It continues forward, controlling each movement of its prey. Tolerance and experience reduce the threat that once seemed intimidating. In nature, understanding an opponent can weaken the power of fear. Despite its small size, the honey badger possesses unusually thick skin and quick reflexes. When an opportunity appears on favorable ground, it acts briefly and with precision. A larger opponent is forced to reconsider the risk. In nature, efficiency can matter more than sheer size. After an unsuccessful search for food, the honey badger returns to its den and notices signs of an intruder. The unexpected visitor has chosen the wrong shelter. The reaction is swift and decisive, encouraging the intruder to move away. In the wild, protecting one's living space is always a clear priority. The encounter unfolds at extremely close range, where even a small mistake can carry a heavy cost. The snake moves with flexibility, searching for the right moment. The honey badger does not retreat. It observes, adjusts its timing, and delivers a decisive control of the situation. The dry ground trembles slightly under a series of determined digs. For many animals, scorpions represent an unpredictable threat. Here, however, the venom does not create a clear advantage. The honey badger handles its prey with accuracy and experience. A solitary honey badger quickly attracts the attention of an opportunistic hyena. Several cautious approaches follow as the hyena tests the distance. But the honey badger's strong response gradually slows the pressure. The encounter ends before it turns into a prolonged confrontation. Facing the massive body of an adult elephant, the lions recognize that individual strength alone is not enough. Their attention shifts toward the calf, the most vulnerable link in the formation. But the mother elephant turns immediately, placing herself between danger and her young. As the herd tightens its protective circle, one goal becomes clear: keeping the calf safe at the center. Darkness does not slow the marten's movements. Its eyes, equipped with a tapetum lucidum layer, reflect faint light and sharpen awareness of the surroundings. When a fox appears nearby, the advantage does not belong to the larger animal. Instead, it belongs to the one that sees more clearly in the night. From its ambush position in dense grass, the rock python suddenly becomes the center of a tightening circle. Wild dogs maintain constant disturbance, while the honey badger advances step by step. The shrinking space makes it difficult for the snake to establish its familiar coil. When coordination becomes precise enough, the advantage of a solitary predator gradually fades. The buffalo chooses not to run, but stands firmly, presenting its weight and horns pointed forward. It is a clear warning across the open savanna. Yet the moment a small opening appears, the lion uses speed and pressure to act. In survival, courage only proves valuable when paired with the right timing. The honey badger eventually walks away with its familiar calm confidence. Not size, but determination and decisiveness allow it to face the harsh challenges of the wild. Thank you for watching until the end of today's video. If you would like to continue exploring surprising encounters from the natural world, please subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next videos.